Damn, it's almost like there's more than 7. The Mario Party series, Nintendo's cutest little wart. They ain't the sexiest games to talk about. It's not like you're going like, oh man, what are your favorite games of all time? And you're really that proud of saying one of the Mario Parties. Overall, probably not, but at least in terms of multiplayer games, for sure, the first 8 Mario Parties are some of my favorite multiplayer games of all time. Mainly because anybody can play these games, like, whenever. They make so much sense during any gathering. You know, you can just be casually playing the game while chatting with your friends, eating some snacks, or you can be intensely focused on trying to be the #1 superstar. It is genuinely a perfect party game. By that I mean it is really damn imperfect. We can bitch about Mario Party till the end of time, but that's the point, you know? That Mario Party has that sense of bullshit in it that makes it Mario Party. Everybody's complained about this at some point. You're doing really good, you win every mini game, you have a ton of coins, a ton of stars, and then fuck you. The game gets flipped on its head, but that's the fun of Mario Party. You're not supposed to take it seriously, and that's what makes it so fun and funny when you do take it seriously. Problem is, I don't really think professional game reviewers during the time these games all came out really understood that. You look at the reviews of each of these Mario Party games, and none of them got like necessarily like amazing scores. Generally speaking, I think the average was around like 7 out of 10s, maybe some high 6s. The main problem a lot of these people had with the game was that, oh my god, it's too random, it's too luck-based. But I don't know, literally like every board game is luck-based with a dice, and Mario Party is supposed to be like a board game, video game sort of deal, so it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, like, you're gonna have some luck in these types of games. Of course, Mario Party does go a bit overboard, I definitely agree with that, but that's part of the fun. I don't think it's fair to judge these as normal games. I think it's fair to judge these based on like, hey, are you gonna have fun whipping this out at a party? But I think a lot of the luck elements of Mario Party didn't really fare well for the series in the reviewer pipeline. I also don't think the yearly release method really fared well for it. Yes, you can see a gradual improvement as time goes on, but at the same time, like, you know, most of these games are pretty interchangeable. You know, me and my friends, if we want to play Mario Party, I don't necessarily think there's much of like a huge debate which one of these to play. You know, it's kind of just like, hey, do you want to play Mario Party? All right, which one do you want to try this time? It's not really which one are you necessarily feeling. 6 is my favorite. You have the whole day and night cycle mechanic. The microphone mini games are stupid, and that's what I like about them. And this one just feels like it had like the most like core love pumped into it. 1 through 3 on the N64 are, you know, are classics. They're the ones that started it all. 1 is really funny because it is just so bullshit. But I mean, going back to it, the bullshittiness of this game is kind of the core reason why I like going back to it. The boards in this game, they're not that great. And then Mario Party 2 is generally seen as like the best Mario Party. I don't really think it is. It's mainly because like Mario Party 2 doesn't really feel like a sequel to Mario Party 1. It feels like a replacement for Mario Party 1. Like they had to put out Mario Party 2 and take out all the games where you're rotating the analog stick on the N64 controller because they got so many complaints from people using their palms to rotate the controller that their palms were fucking bleeding. So they were like, all right, let's revise Mario Party 1, add a couple new minigames, add new boards, boom, Mario Party 2. But a lot of Mario Party 2's minigames are like directly ripped from Mario Party 1. So I'd honestly say probably Mario Party 3 is the best of the N64 lot. This one's often underappreciated, you know, you don't see a lot of people talking about Mario Party 3. Even in like Mario Party Superstars that's supposed to celebrate the N64 era of Mario Parties, there's only one board for Mario Party 3. I don't know. You have 2 dumbass boards from Mario Party 1 and boards aren't even good in this game. But then we go to the GameCube era, and this is where I think Mario Party really peaked. I mean, these games were pumped out one after another every single year, which I think was kind of fun. The fact that you knew you were getting a new Mario Party every single year. Yeah, sure. I mean, it was just more Mario Party. It was always like, yeah, here's Mario Party 4. What's the difference between Mario Party 4 and Mario Party 5? I mean, you can list them, but like who actually gives a damn? But I always thought these were really fun yearly releases, considering that, like, hey, no matter what, let's say you're not a fan of the holiday titles that year, you know there's a Mario Party coming out, and you know that Mario Party is gonna give you some multiplayer fun at the very least. And you know, maybe you don't need to get them every single year, but hey, maybe one year you're like, you know what, it's been a while, I haven't gotten a Mario Party in a while, sure. Mario Party 7. This one always felt like the most like it's their Mario Party. It's a good Mario Party. I do like this one. It has kind of like a vacation theme, but that's the only thing really about it. I mean, it retains like the weird microphone support from Mario Party 6. That's it. Like, it just kind of feels like it's there. Like, all the other Mario Parties feel like it's just like, oh, they're moving the series forward. And even then, you look at the logo for Mario Party 7, it just kind of looks like they just farted this out over lunch break. But it's still really good. In fact, all the GameCube Mario Parties are quite good. It's crazy to me that they released these yearly and the quality was kept at such a solid standard. I'm not gonna act like they went above and beyond, but every single game included a ton of brand new mini games. And if there's one thing Mario Party games do well, the mini games are always pretty okay. Not all of them are always going to be winners, but you kind of need those. Like, I think it does kind of make for the Mario Party experience when you're playing through a game and you get that one mini game that you're like, wow, this one sucks. But in addition to the mini games, the boards in Mario Party, that's the key thing. And the boards just kind of kept getting better and better throughout the series history. You get up to like Mario Party 6 and 7, and the boards are like so intricate. There's so many paths. You genuinely have so many choices on where to go and different strategies to employ. So yeah, the idea that like, oh, Mario Party is nothing but luck-based bullshit. Well, yes, but there's a lot of strategy to employ here. If you really want to win at Mario Party, I mean, everybody's going to win at some point, even if you're playing the absolute worst out of everybody in the room. However, like, yeah, there's a lot of room to be strategic in these Mario Party games. It all comes together. A really great board design where you're just kind of going around, picking which path to take. These great 3D worlds where it's almost like you're exploring the Mario universe in a completely new way. Like Fair Square in Mario Party 6, just kind of going through this town. It's cool. But then, that brings us to Mario Party 8. I like Mario Party 8, one board in it, but this is definitely like probably, I'd say the most like controversial of the first 8. It's still good, but it's also like, you know, I think this one is probably the easiest to hate on. I love Koopa's Tycoon Town in Mario Party 8, where you're buying out hotels. That board's great. I can play that board all day. And the mini games in Mario Party 8 are fun. They're stupid and fun. The art style in this game is so strange. Like, and I will definitely say this. Mario Party art styles are always strange. Like, watch the opening cutscene to Mario Party 4. That shit's strange. It's like this oddly realistic art style, this weirdly smooth animation as well. Like, I'm not used to seeing these creatures this way. And then Mario Party 8 also has kind of like this weirdly realistic art style. I don't know. It's weird. Everything looks like somewhat off model in Mario Party 8. But I kind of like that about it. It's silly. But the minigames in Mario Party 8, a lot of them are really fun, but you gotta be like willing to put up with Wii Remote Waggle garbage. Yeah, this is how I represent Wii Remote Waggle garbage. You wanna know why? Because that's how Mario Party 8 represents it. But this is a game where I think waggling kind of makes sense because it's like, you know, like it kind of adds to the stupidity. You know, let's be honest. A lot of Mario Party is about like, let's have a stupid time tonight. Let's crack open some booze and let's play Mario Party 3 and cry about our feelings. But yeah, I wanted to talk about my appreciation towards the first 8 entries in the Mario Party series. I can pop in any of these at any time and have a great time, even Mario Party 8. I think Mario Party 8 is probably at the lower end of the echelon, probably around like the Mario Party 1 territory. I still like playing it. It's probably one of my go-to party games on Wii. However, I know I'm gonna get a much better time out of any of the games on GameCube or like Mario Party 2 or Mario Party 3 on the N64. And around the time that Mario Party 8 came out in 2007, I think a lot of reviewers were getting like, they were just like, yeah, come on, guys, this series. I know IGN gave it around like a 5 out of 10, which is like, that's absurd. Like 6 out of 10, sure, but like 5? That means there's genuine big problems in this game. I don't really think there is. Like, I think, like, a fair amount of it is a bit mediocre, but, like, it does what you want it to do. It's a fun party game on Wii. I think it came down to the fact that they weren't really improving upon Mario Party. It was obvious they were just kind of pumping these out year after year. And in many people's eyes, something had to change. And that something ended up being a hostile company takeover. The original Mario Party series was developed by Hudson Soft. I think everybody's seen this logo at some point. You know, guys, Hudson Soft. They made Bonk. Bonk. You know Bonk. Bonk. Well, they made Mario Party and plus a lot of other party games. They made Fusion Frenzy 2 on the Xbox 360. Sonic Shuffle as well. Disney's Party. Kind of like how the developers of Mario Golf and Mario Tennis Camelot, you know, they started by making like Hot Shots Golf, and then eventually they've also made like We Love Golf on Wii. So it's just like, yeah, they did the Mario version of these series, but then they were like, well, this is what we're good at. But Mario Party was kind of their bread and butter. Though, unfortunately, in 2012, Konami pretty much just took everything that was Hudson Soft and just brought it into their company. They pretty much acquired everything Hudson Soft, and the name pretty much fizzled out. Now, for example, Hudson Soft developed the Bomberman games, so when Super Bomberman R and Super Bomberman R2 came out, that's all a Konami joint. You don't see Hudson Soft's logo anywhere. What's strange is that you'd assume that, like, things could just go forth as planned, you know? Like, Konami could develop the Mario Party series or whatever, I don't know. Well, to be fair, around this time was when Konami started to say, like, we don't want to make video games anymore. We just want to be a video game company that putzes around. But the timeline here is just a little strange. First off, let's not act like Mario Party had this amazingly perfect track record prior to this, because Jesus! Mario Party Advance. This doesn't work. There's only like 4 characters in this game, and it's not a good Mario Party. And there's a reason why like nobody really even talks about this one, outside of when they want to make fun of it. It's Mario Party kind of in name only, where it's like, yeah, you know, you have mini games, yeah, you have a board. But it's like, you know, come on, man. And it's like, you know, come on, man. Mario Party E. I never played this, but this is like a card game where you scan the cards on the e-reader for Game Boy Advance, and then you play mini games on the Game Boy Advance. This just seemed like a giant waste of everybody's time. Buying it, playing it, hell, developing it. I can't imagine being the developers of this and being like, yep, that was worth my effort. Mario Party had some strange representation on the Game Boy Advance. But thankfully, when we go over to the DS, we got a pretty damn solid Mario Party. Mario Party DS is actually pretty damn good. I think I had the chance to own this as a kid. I think I remember like a commercial playing for this game, and my mom asking me in like 2007 or 2008 or whatever, just saying like, hey, would you like a Mario game? Like seeing this one, and I was like, sure. Like, I like Mario, and she ended up getting me Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2. To be fair, like that was probably a better choice. You know, Mario Party DS is good, and you know, it's not bad on your own as well. You know, especially like back in the day, I think it would have been like really sick. I was like, oh my god, 3D visuals on the DS. I always thought that was super cool. But you know, hey, I mean, Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2 is a little more, you know, like a good single player oriented game, and I had absolutely nobody to play Mario Party DS with. But this is a solid Mario Party. Obviously, it's not like one of the best Mario Parties, but for a handheld Mario Party, it's about as damn good as you can damn get. Which is great, because this is the last we ever saw of classic Mario Party. This was the last of the long tenure from like Mario Party 1 to this point in late 2007. This was the last Mario Party for a good few years, which was like really surprising. 2007, like this was before Hudson Soft got acquired by Konami in 2012. So like, I'm not really sure what was going on there. I don't know why there was nothing Mario Party related for a couple years, especially during this era. Like you'd expect during the Wii era, you know, the console about baby boy bullshit, mini games, party, oh my god, fucking swing your shit around and do some dumb shit. I don't know. It would have made sense to have like 20 Mario Parties on this thing, but instead we only got one at the time, and then Mario Party DS. And that was it. Something was going on. Maybe Nintendo was getting sick of the lower review scores of Mario Party. Maybe the sales were going down. No, they weren't. Mario Party 8 was like one of the best-selling Wii games. So like, I don't know. I'd assume at this point it's because they were like, hey, Mario Party is getting ran into the ground. Yes, Mario Party 8 did well, but like, would another Mario Party do well unless we change things up? Maybe they were reevaluating their relationship with Hudson Soft. Maybe they couldn't settle on an agreement. Maybe Hudson Soft wanted to keep releasing Mario Parties year round, and Nintendo was like, hell no, we don't want to do that. And maybe Hudson was like, nah, f you. And then they didn't make Mario Parties for a while, and maybe that led to them getting acquired. I don't know the business of this all, and if you do, please let me know. Why was there no Mario Party from 2007 to 2012? And why, when it came back, did it suck ass? So E3 2011. I remember, this was the E3 where Nintendo revealed the Wii U, talked more about the 3DS, talked about Skyward Sword, and at the very, very end of the press conference, when they were leaving the stage, a bunch of random game logos popped up that was like, hey, check this out on the show floor. Pretty much like all the games that they refused to talk about during the show. And you saw a Mario Party 9 logo. Mario Party was back after a few years off. No longer developed by Hudson Soft, this was an ND Cube up. So who's ND Cube? Well, ND Cube is a subsidiary of Nintendo. The N stood for Nintendo, the D was for this random ass company called Dentsu GameCube. It's really weird because like, I don't really know why ND Cube was formed. When you look at the games they created during that era when it was formed, and I'm like, what was the point of this company? This must have been like money laundering at that point. You formed a whole ass studio just to make F-Zero Maximum Velocity on the Game Boy Advance? That was their first game. What's the point of this? And then they made shit like Pool Edge on the GameCube for Japan only, and Tube Slider for the GameCube? Like that's not even published by Nintendo. It was developed by a Nintendo-made studio. Like, why? What's the point of this company existing? And Tube Slider was the last game that they made for 7 years. And then they made Wii Party. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Might have been just a support studio at that time. Might have been used for something else. I don't know the full history of ND Cube, but by 2010, they became just a full-blown party game studio owned by Nintendo. Before that point, they just kind of did a bunch of random small games. Like, I'm like going like, what was the point of this company existing? Maybe Nintendo severed ties with Hudson Soft because they wanted to bring things more internally. Because hey, they understood like how much party games and local multiplayer on the couch games really defined their consoles. So it's like, hey, let's have our own company do a lot of this stuff. So they made ND Cube the party game studio, starting with Wii Party. And I always enjoyed Wii Party. It could never really replace Mario Party. It had a lot of Mario Party-esque elements, especially on its board game island mode, but it was more of a mini game collection than like a Mario Party-like game. And the thing about ND Cube is that you can see this at the very start. They love cramming a bunch of different modes in their games, but like none of the modes have like any oomph to them. Like there's no depth to any of these modes. It's very much like, oh, this is a cool idea, but after 10 minutes, you're done with it. There's no reason to keep playing. And then we got Mario Party 9. That's the best way to describe a lot of their Mario Party games. ND Cube took over the Mario Party series with 9 releasing in 2012. And it reviewed okay. I think this almost felt like it was designed more for the reviewers that complained to no end about how samey all the Mario Party games were. Well, here's something different. And it's garbage. So in previous Mario Parties, you'd all move independently on a board, like any other board game. You know, you roll the dice and you move your piece around. In Mario Party, you roll the dice, you move your character around, you can choose different paths to take, you can go to a shop, grab an item, use that item when you think it would work the best, put a trap on the board, affect other players, gain all the coins you can to get a star, have the most stars at the end, you win. It's a perfectly simple concept for a multiplayer game, but I think it's perfectly executed. For what they want to do with Mario Party, like that concept makes it so then like, yeah, anybody can understand this, but you can take it as seriously or non-seriously as you want. It's lovely. Mario Party 9 changed things up, and honest to God, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to explain how the rules in Mario Party 9 work off the top of my head. All players are in a car. Damn it. So you're getting like mini stars instead of coins, and you want to get the 1 star at the end. You want to get the most mini stars. All the boards are linear now. They just go in a straight line. You're all in the car at the beginning, and you want to keep rolling. So when it's your turn, you roll the dice, and everybody goes ahead, and then the next person goes ahead. Mini games only appear when you get on a mini game space. You wanna all get to the end and fight a boss battle. And this game sucks. I'm not saying the cooperative element of this game is what makes it bad. It's just an element of it, you know. The fact that the boards are all linear means like it's almost entirely about luck now. It just kind of feels like you're playing Mario Party 9 until it's over. You're not really like strategizing anything. There's nothing to strategize here. Considering like you're all kind of working together, but you're also not at the same time. The fact that you're all on a game board that pretty much is it just has a start and an end. You're just trying to get to the end of the board. That's all it is. And I'm like, okay. And it just goes by so quickly. Like, you don't select the amount of turns you want to take or anything. It's just about, like, when you get to the end, you get to the end. That's it. Now, the mini games are quite good in Mario Party 9. They don't go for any real motion control-esque games in this one. It's pretty much all, like, games that, you know, you just kind of use with, like, you know, the Wii remote on its side, which is perfectly fine. I think by the time this came out, you know, this was one of the final Wii releases by Nintendo. I think they were like, all right, you know, people just want traditional controls now. Then, you know, that's fine. That makes sense. And like Mario Party 9's production values are quite nice. You know, the music's good, the visuals are nice, but it's just the core gameplay it's just lame. I'm not gonna act like you can't have any fun with Mario Party 9. I sat down with it recently, and with the right group of people, you know, it's kind of like you're playing a bad game of like Mario Party 2 or something, you know, where you're not really that invested, but it's just something to do. That's what Mario Party 9 is. I wouldn't say it's like god awful. It's not terrible, but it's just, I don't want to play this. I don't really care to play this. If I'm playing it though, and it's just kind of like, you know, it's not the focal point of my attention, it's fine. But I'll give them credit, like, they did something new with Mario Party, and I can't necessarily say it doesn't work. It's just not very fun. So, I mean, hey, good for you, ND Cube. It's obvious that you can make a video game. You know, it looks nice, it plays fine, but the concept that you have here is just not very fun. So it's just like, you know, whatever. First time making a Mario Party, I understand. First time back after a bit, they're a little rusty, I understand that. Mario Party 1 wasn't perfect for Hudson Soft, so, you know, obviously, what we're gonna get next, Success 2! Mario Party Island Tour on the 3DS. Yeah, so in 2013, we got Mario Party on the 3DS, also developed by ND Cube. This one kinda goes back to like the original Mario Party style, but like not really. It's pretty much like Mario Party 9, but without everybody in the same car. But the game boards are still like just a straight damn line, and it's miserable. I think it's almost worse just because like you see it right there. You can see like, oh my god, you're so close. Just have an actual damn game board. At least Mario Party 9, like it was so much different. It's not as offensive. Mario Party Island Tour, you're like, you're almost there, buddy. But no, like this is a miserable game to play. The mini games are okay though. I think the most noteworthy thing about Mario Party Island Tour is the fact that it came out the same day as Mario 3D World and A Link Between Worlds. Choices, choices, choices. But that brings us to the 10th numbered entry in the Mario Party series on Wii U, announced at E3 2014 and releasing in 2015. Here we have Mario Party 10. This is the worst fucking game I've ever played in my life. Okay, so I think this is probably the worst home console Mario Party, mainly because, like, it continues with the Mario Party 9 nonsense. And like I said, with Mario Party 9, you know, I can kind of let that slide because it's like, hey, they were trying something new. Didn't really work well, but like, whatever. Hey, good for you for doing something new. Mario Party 10 is acting like you're just waltzing right along like nothing happened. It's so damn depressing. It's like, yep, this is Mario Party now. But the thing is, Mario Party 10 goes with the ND Cube tradition of a bunch of modes and none of them mattering. So the headlining mode in this game is Bowser Party. So it's like a traditional game of Mario Party 9 where 4 players are in the car moving forward and 1 player is Bowser on the gamepad. And they're setting all kinds of traps. They're trying to catch up to the player. They're trying to ruin the player's day. And when they catch up to the players, then a Bowser minigame plays where the 1 player is dicking around on the gamepad and trying to ruin the other player's lunch. Honestly, this is a fantastic idea. It's very in line with what Mario Party's done in the past, like their 1 versus 3 mini games. This is pretty much it, but it's 1 versus 4. And they're doing it in a unique way where, you know, hey, the 1 player is on the gamepad. You get a completely different perspective, and it really does feel like, damn, I'm Bowser. I'm in control here. The problem is there's so few Bowser minigames and so few boards that are in Bowser Party. So there are 5 boards in total in Mario Party 10, which is very low. I don't think that's enough at all, especially when these are like fully linear game boards. They're really fucking boring. Every game is basically gonna feel like it's playing the exact same. It's not like you can go on different pathways or whatever. But out of those 5 boards, only 3 of them are playable in Bowser Party. And I'm just kind of wondering, like, what was going on here? Why isn't this entire game themed around Bowser Party? It's not like the Bowser Party boards don't work in regular Mario Party mode, because yeah, you do have regular Mario Party mode where it plays exactly like the game did in Mario Party 9 without another player on the gamepad as Bowser chasing after you. So it's like, why aren't all the boards designed with Bowser Party in mind? Because, like, you know, like you can play the Bowser Party boards in Mario Party, so it's just like, why not just make all the boards Bowser Party themed, especially when, like, the full fucking box art is so Bowser Party focused. So Bowser Party is a cute idea. I do like it, but it's just like, it's so underbaked. And there's so few things that actually take advantage of the 1 player being on the gamepad. There's like a couple times on the boards where the player on the gamepad can like write on the screen to mess with the player. That's a cute idea where it's like, hey, take this path, not this path. But it's like, there's only so many things you can do with that. You know, it's like, oh, you could tell the truth or you could lie. It's a cute idea, but it happens so infrequently. And when it does happen, you're kind of like, okay, well, this isn't, like, I can't really, I'm not getting much out of this at all. But thank God we have Amiibo Party. Amiibo Party obviously utilize Amiibo figures. This game kind of launched alongside a whole slew of Super Mario series Amiibo. Before this, the only Amiibo that released were the Smash Brothers ones. It's a little lame that the second series of Amiibo were all Mario characters, all characters that we pretty much already had in Smash Brothers form. Of course, the Mario series figures, I think, were a bit more substantial. Probably looked a little better as overall figures. I love the Smash Brothers line, but like, most of those poses were not made to become like real life figurines. And like the Peach Smash Brothers amiibo always looked like a Polly Pocket to me. Like her face just looked very tiny. And, you know, at that time, like Nintendo hadn't nailed like really quality amiibo figures for like the more realistic human characters. But then you look at the Mario series Peach and she looks great. Like she's like really substantial and her facial features are more like well sculpted. So like, yeah, the Mario series definitely was like a little like higher quality just because like these poses were definitely more figure ready. But those figures launched alongside Mario Party 10 because there is a big emphasis on amiibo with Amiibo Party. And this seemed really cool. Mainly because this was a return to the traditional Mario Party formula. None of this car nonsense, none of this mini-star bullshit. Just you roaming around a board all by yourself, collecting coins and trying to get the most stars. Thank God. Pretty crazy because it totally showed that ND Cube definitely could make a traditional Mario Party game if they wanted to. They didn't want to. Amiibo Party is awful. It's awful. The concept is nice. The fact that like, hey, like the traditional Mario Party formula is in this game, but it is butchered and it is hidden behind a horrible way to play a party game. Because it's Amiibo Party, you have to use your amiibo. You tap your amiibo to roll the dice every single time. And you know what's even stupider? They did this a second time. Why the did Nintendo think this was a suitable use for Amiibo? 2 games that used Amiibo figures to scan on the gamepad to roll your dice. That is disgusting. And then in addition, the boards that you're on in this mode are just a fucking square. There's nothing to them. They're worse than just the straight lines in the regular Mario Party mode. There's nothing to these boards. The minigames are okay. Mario Party 10 is probably my least favorite Mario Party. It's nothing it does is great. And even like with the minigames being okay, it's kind of just like all the Mario Party's minigames are okay. Good for you. Well, when Nintendo is at one of its lowest points, you can tell because a Mario Party game is their big holiday zinger. 2016 was a pretty rough year for Nintendo. It was a very off year. There wasn't much going on outside of like Pokemon Sun and Moon and Mario Run on the App Store. But Nintendo announced more Mario Amiibo, and that would release alongside Mario Party Star Rush, the second Mario Party game on 3DS. And interestingly enough, this is not fucking Mario Party. This almost feels like it's just a bunch of like random ass ideas thrown together in one. Whether or not they work, who the hell cares? It's the 2016 Mario Party. We got bigger problems to deal with. Just put this out so then we can just have a Mario Party out this holiday, maybe sell some Amiibo alongside with it. But I will say, Mario Party Star Rush is pretty commendable in terms of like, you know, hey, Toad Scramble here, that's the main mode. I'd say it's probably better than Mario Party 9 setup. It's not necessarily amazing. Like, I wouldn't say it's like my preferred Mario Party, but like, it's fine. But similar to the other ND Cube games, it's all about just the variety of modes. It's just a bunch of different modes. You have Coinathlon, which is pretty much just a giant just onslaught of mini games, just a tournament of mini games, which, you know, that's all right. I wouldn't say Star Rush is bad. It's just kind of whatever. It's at a decent enough quality. I think this showed that like ND Cube was aware like, hey, the Mario Party 9 setup ain't working for us. Let's just experiment a little more. Let's see if we can find another style of Mario Party. Weirdly enough, like this game's gimmick is that everybody rolls at the same time. So that way it's like, oh yeah, you know, you just go really quick, fast-paced Mario Party. And it's like, was that really ever a problem with Mario Party? Like, who cares? I find it very interesting to see, like, what kind of dumb bullshit Nintendo's gonna claim is, like, this game's big feature. Oh, okay, let's have everybody roll at once. Like, I remember following, like, a lot of, like, the Nintendo YouTube channels or outlets or whatever at the time. And, like, I remember a lot of people saying, like, oh, thank God. Wow, that's so much nicer. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Who cares? But yeah, Mario Party Star Rush. That one always just kind of felt like it was to get a game out. That's the thing, because 2016, once again, pretty barren year for Nintendo. But 2017 was just filled to the brim with stuff. And we still got a Mario Party. Oh, yes, we did. This was revealed in the September 2017 Nintendo Direct. This was all during like the Mario Odyssey big hype phase. Oh man, this game's gonna come out. It's gonna be so damn good. But after Mario Odyssey released, only like a week or so afterwards, we would get a brand new Mario Party for the 3DS. Ugh, why did this console get like 3 damn Mario Parties? And you know what's the worst thing? It's a Mario Party game that nobody wanted on the 3DS. It's Mario Party the Top 100. So the concept behind this game is that it's the top 100 mini games from Mario Party Past. And this came out in November of 2017. And, yeah, so this potentially is the worst Mario Party, but I'm not really sure. Very obviously, this released at the tail end of the 3DS's life when they were mainly putting out games that were a lot easier to kind of whip together. A lot of games that use, like, previous assets, remakes, re-releases, ports, all that stuff. Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS, the Mario and Luigi remakes, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. It was all about, hey, let's take pre-existing content and let's make a new 3DS game based out of that. And what they came up with Mario Party was honestly like an amazing idea. Hey, let's compile old Mario Party mini games and let's make like a giant collection of the best 100. this is an outstanding idea, and it was just so damn depressing that it was on the 3DS because everybody wanted this game on Switch. And then when we saw this game release, it's very obvious why it wasn't on Switch because nobody gave a fuck about making this game. When they say it's Mario Party the top 100, that's all it is. It's just 100 mini games. There's nothing else to it. And it really does show you, like, why a Mario Party game needs just something other than mini games. You need that game board. And this game does have a game board, but it's like a super generic one with the mechanics from Mario Party Star Rush. And it's like, Star Rush was fine, but like, I don't want this. And on top of that, I don't want to play this on the 3DS. I want to sit at my TV. I want to play with a controller. Mario Party the Top 100 is just a total like filler title. It's just a total excuse to just fart out another Mario game for the 3DS, kind of with a unique premise. I think it's really cool and cute to see these classic mini games remade on the 3DS. That is pretty neat. And just the idea of like, hey, I have the 100 best Mario Party mini games right here. Like that's kind of cute. Of course, I think a lot of people will agree this being the top 100 is kind of severely up for debate. Kind of felt more so like maybe like 50 games that like everybody knew from Mario Party history, then the other 50 were like just easy to put on here. But yeah, this game is just a total like just fart it out, just get something out, use pre-existing content, get a Mario Party game out here. It's literally just 100 mini games and nothing else. This is pretty worthless. As like a concept, it's cute, but like it barely even feels like I'm holding anything here. This feels genuinely worthless. Rough time for Mario Party. It kind of felt like this was what the reviewers back during the GameCube era acted like Mario Party was, but in real life now. Like Mario Party was genuinely just being milked and just being put out just to put something out, rather than like putting out something because like, hey, let's make a good, fun party game. None of these Mario Party games necessarily felt like that, especially the ones on the 3DS. They really just kind of felt like games to release for the sake of releasing games. Mario Party 9 wasn't good, and Mario Party 10 was even worse. The constant releases on 3DS just to put out games with Mario on the cover. This was a bad era for Mario Party. However, at E3 2018, everything seemed to be turning around. And that ended up being me turning around and walking out of the fucking door. This game. Super Mario Party. In reality, it's okay. Super Mario Party was kind of presented as if it was a return to form for the franchise. You took a look at the boards on display, you know, the core board game mode of Super Mario Party, and it looked like, wow, this is back to how traditional Mario Party worked. No more car. Everybody was moving on their own. The game looks fantastic. The music is incredible. There's so many playable characters. There's so many extra modes in the game. And just the fact that they call it Super Mario Party, like they're really trying to push that this is almost like a soft reboot for Mario Party. You can even see it in the opening cutscene. The opening cutscene is directly referencing Mario Party 1. Some really cool stuff. And when we finally got this game, goddamn, it was pretty damn disappointing. There's a lot wrong with Super Mario Party. I respect it for being a quality party game. You can still have fun with Super Mario Party. It is leagues above any of the trash that released from Mario Party 9 onwards. But I think it's still kind of near the bottom of the totem pole. It is around the Mario Party 1, Mario Party 8 region. Probably worse than those games. I would prefer playing Mario Party 1 or Mario Party 8 to Super Mario Party. But hey, we're out of the sludge. So what's the problem with Super Mario Party? Well, the boards are not good. They're way too basic. They're very small and they're grid based. Like it's like there's not much to them. There's barely any branching paths. They feel very much like Mario Party 1 boards, but even more simplified than that. And in addition, the game's economy is all kind of fucked up. The price of a star is way too low in the game, so it's way too easy. Nothing really feels like it matters in this game. No, like I don't give a shit what happens here. I kind of feel like if I want a star, I can very easily get a star. In the other Mario Party games, like you really gotta fight sometimes to get a star. And the fact that there's only 4 boards in the game is miserable. That is ridiculous. They also do a lot of dumb things, like the fact that the only way you can play this game is with a Joy-Con by itself on its side. Why? I understand you want to do a lot of motion control, hoo-ha, but it's like, come on, guys. This isn't Pro Controller compatible. You can't play this game in handheld mode. It's one of the few Nintendo Switch games that you can't play in handheld mode. And all this other stuff that they added to the game, like this game has a ton of modes, a ton of extra stuff to do in it. And it almost feels like there's barely any boards in the game because it's like, oh, well, we'll make up for it with all this extra mode stuff. It's ND Cube's problem, man. All these extra modes, like, they have some cute ideas, like the river survival mode, where you're all working together to go down a river, and then you bump into these balloons to play minigames. It all works really well. Problem is, there's only like 10 minigames in river survival, and you get the gist of it the first time you're done. Like, you're not gonna play that mode again. And all the other modes are like worthless. There's that old rhythm game mode. Who cares, man? I'm not gonna act like Super Mario Party is a bad game or anything. I do think calling it a bad game is taking things a bit far. It's just average. It's a mediocre game. But I think it is something where if you sit down with some friends, you can have a decent time with it. It's a far cry from the glory days of Mario Party, but it's also a far cry from the dark era of Mario Party. And that is what's important. It's right down the middle. It's not good, but it's not bad. And hey, you know what's really cool about this one? You can play it online. At the time, that was absolutely fucking worthless. You can only play like a select number of mini-games online, which was stupid. It didn't even work very well. And it's just like, why? Why would I want to play one of 10 mini-games online? That sucks. But a couple years later down the line, in like 2021, they announced full online play for this game. The first time a Mario Party game ever had full online multiplayer. You can play the full boards with people online. That was a massive deal, and it came like 3 years after people stopped caring about this game. At least when it came to kind of the core audience, I guess. You know, casual people kept buying this game. This is one of the best-selling Switch games. That's miserable. But you know what? Super Mario Party, step in the right direction. And you know what? All great tragedies need a redemption arc. It was a happy ending after all. Mario Party Superstars. This is officially like a full-on return to the traditional Mario Party setup. Of course, they're doing it through the means of remaking old content. This is pretty much like them actually putting the effort and finishing a game like Mario Party the Top 100, because this game also includes 100 minigames from previous Mario Party games, many of which were also featured in the Top 100. So this very much feels like, you know, we're going in and we're making that game actually good. But in addition, they have the boards. They have 5 boards from the N64 games. That's really lame. I think 5 boards should be like bare minimum for a Mario Party. And even then, I'm being extremely generous there. I think it should probably be closer to like 6 boards. But even then, the fact that these are all remakes makes the sheer lack of boards that much more like, come on, guys. Like, how much did you really have to do here? Like, you couldn't have done a couple more? There's 2 boards for Mario Party 1, 2 boards for Mario Party 2, 1 board for Mario Party 3, and Mario Party 3 has some great boards in it. Like, what gives? But yeah, I think this shows that ND Cube, they can do good. They can do good if they want to. And this is very much like, yeah, this is a great Mario Party game. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. It is very much like, hey, let's take a bunch of old content and let's spruce it up. I love how these boards look now. I love how the mini games look. I love the music. Everything about this is phenomenal. I love that, like, hey, we're looking at nostalgia of all these Mario spin-off games as well. It's not just about, like, oh, what are these mainline tentpole titles throughout history? Let's remake those. Let's get nostalgia for those. No, like, hey, let's go back to Mario Party. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's do some Mario Party nostalgia. And yeah, they do a lot of, like, N64 level nostalgia. Even just like, hey, when you're selecting your character, it's like Mario Party 1 and 2. Online play is in here from the get-go. You can use a Pro Controller. Thank f***. And yeah, it may not be a fully original title, but Mario Party has been fully redeemed. A lot of people have always kind of been like, who cares about Mario Party? But man, Mario Party's history has been all over the place. But you know what? It has always given me so much entertainment. Whether it's from the actual good games or from talking about how much I fucking hate the bad ones, this is a series I can always rely upon for some good times. And I don't think it deserves to experience a dark era like it did from 2012 to 2021. It's one of my go-to favorite local multiplayer games. I love playing it on the couch with friends and family and loved ones and all of that kind of junk and telling them how much they fucking piss me off. And that's the thing, I play Mario Party with those I love, and it's a franchise I love. And you know what they say about people that you love? You gotta be upfront with them when they piss you the fuck off.